The Oxford Dictionary of English cites immortality as the ability to live forever. I'd like to demonstrate that everlasting life, or unlimited longevity, is a viable biological model with many existing examples in nature. Turritopsis dohrnii, also called the immortal jellyfish, is a Mediterranean and Japanese jellyfish that is able to revert back into its immature polyp form. Think of it as a chicken turning into a mass of tiny eggs in response to environmental threats. Bristol cone pine trees are a species of pine trees that live in the southwestern United States, usually at higher elevations. Several living trees show evidence of surviving tremendous damages from fires, broken branches, infection, and even lightning strikes. What makes these trees even more interesting, however, is that examining their DNA shows that very little mutation has occurred over 5,000 years in currently living trees. In Maine, USA, a 20-pound lobster was estimated to be over 140 years old, and this is significant because lobsters molt into new shells as they age, becoming bigger. The size of a lobster can give a rough approximation of its age, and the private museum of Charles Q. Eldridge in Mystic, Connecticut, has had a 51-pound lobster on display. Lobsters are said to be immortal because they are able to produce telomerase, which basically repairs the buffer zones in DNA during replication, preventing mutations that cause senescence or aging from developing. Another reason lobsters are hypothetically immortal is because they are able to keep molting and growing indefinitely until they either die from predation, infection, or become so large that molting requires too much energy and the lobster gets stuck in its shell and dies. It has been noted, however, that lobsters living in cold climates live longer than lobsters living in warmer climates, because cold climates cultivate slower metabolisms. These metabolic differences also affect the lifespan of other animals in interesting ways. An average crayfish's lifespan is around 3 to 8 years, but troglodytic or cave-dwelling crayfish have developed extremely slow metabolisms from the food scarcity found in caves, living to be over 150 years old. This is the equivalent of a human whose average lifespan is 79 years, living to be 3,950 years. A Seychelles giant tortoise named Jonathan is believed to have been alive for over 187 years, with pictures from 1986 showing a mature Jonathan. An even older Aldabra giant tortoise named Adwaita, who lived in the Alipore Zoological Gardens in Kolkata, India, is estimated to have lived to be over 250 years old. The longevity of turtles is believed to be due to the same lifespan elongating effect of the slow metabolism possessed by cave crayfish we discussed earlier. Turtles mature very slowly because of their metabolism, and dissection has shown that the turtle organs are almost indistinguishable between older and younger turtles. What's even more interesting is that a turtle's metabolism is so slow that it can even stop its own heart from beating in order to conserve energy. Bowhead whales were once considered to be short-lived animals, but in May 2007 a bowhead whale was discovered that had an explosive harpoon lodged inside of its flesh from 1879. This 128-year-old whale caused researchers to determine the ages of other whales, and one species was estimated to be 211 years old. It was once believed that the larger and more complex an animal is, the more susceptible that animal is to cancer. While there is some truth to this belief, the average lifespan for bowhead whales is 200 years old, and yet they are obviously much larger than a human, and relatively intelligent beasts as well. By mapping the bowhead whale's genome, scientists from the UK and the United States were able to identify genetic mutations that allow for DNA repair. DNA excision protein ERCC1 is a gene present in the whale which humans also possess and is responsible for removing and repairing damaged portions of DNA. Mice that are deficient in this gene have been shown to demonstrate accelerated aging, and humans lacking this gene are at an increased risk for cancer. Another protein found in the bowhead whales is called proliferating cell nuclear antigen, or PCNA, which basically makes sure that once a damaged portion of DNA is cut off from the rest of the healthy DNA, that nothing is put to waste. PCNA basically floats around and tries to repurpose these little bits of DNA into new healthy strands. PCNA is being researched as a possible target for triggering cancerous tissue repair. It is obvious that if we set concrete goals for defining immortality, that it is well within earthly creation. There is nothing, or at least a lot less, making immortality for humans an impossibility. In future episodes, we will definitely be discussing other animals that have achieved extreme longevity or fortitude. If you like this video and wish to support my content and my research, please marry me and take over the world with me.